What makes a gaming phone? Aren't they all phones? Well, yeah, they are all phones, but some have a little bit extra. This is the Black Shark 5 Pro, which not only has two hardware buttons on the top, it also has a pressure-sensitive screen. In other words, you get 4 buttons to work with. Thanks to Black Shark for sponsoring this video and sending us this cool unit of the Black Shark 5 Pro. Now let me take you through a full day with it. Let's talk about the design real quick. Now, the Black Shark 5 Pro is a gaming phone, but it doesn't scream it at you. It's a subtle design with some high-tech graphics on the back, but they are muted behind this matte glass. There's a small RGB light element which you can customize or fully turn off if you don't want it. The back is arched, making for an ergonomic fit in the hand, and the frosted glass keeps fingerprints away. That screen on the front is a 1080p OLED 6.67-inch panel that can refresh at a speed of up to 144 Hz. And it has a 720 Hz touch sampling rate. In other words, animations are super smooth and response to touches is instant. It's a smartphone, it's a flagship grade smartphone, but what sets it apart are a couple of special bells and whistles. This frame here, it looks flush, doesn't it? Well, when I slide these buttons, 2 hardware triggers pop out. This is where the fun begins. Hey, look at that, it's time for my lunch break. The Black Shark 5 Pro makes gaming on the go real easy and actually not frustrating. See, thanks to all the controls I have, it kind of feels like I have a controller in my hands. The triggers I can use to aim and fire, typically. And since the 2 halves of the screen are pressure sensitive, I can set them to do even more things. While playing Apex Legends Mobile, I have my left thumb press be a crouch or slide, and my right thumb controls jumping. It's like having 4 buttons on your fingertips and you don't need to move away from the movement controls while doing so. There are accessories for this phone, you can get a joystick controller or a fan, but I've been using it vanilla since I got it in the office and I'm doing fine. Now, this is all powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which is the top tier Qualcomm chip for the first half of 2022. We will have the benchmark results posted up here somewhere, and I'm pretty sure they will look impressive, but benchmarks are one thing. How does it translate to real-life use? Well, you can see me here enjoying myself playing games at the highest settings I possibly can. And it worked great, clean, fluid and dependable. The good news is that when you have a device that can run all the latest game at the top settings, you can rest assured that it will run all of your regular apps. No problem. In fact, the screen is HDR10+ compliant and the Black Shark 5 Pro has stereo speakers top and bottom. They are situated in such a way that you can't really block them while holding the phone in landscape mode, since they are slightly offset. So you can watch a movie, you can play a game, you can binge YouTube, whatever. The speakers themselves can get loud and they do sound sufficiently deep to let you enjoy your content. The software here is called Joy UI, which is a heavy reskin of Android 12 and also it's based on Xiaomi's MIUI. So on the surface level, it kinda looks a lot like a Xiaomi phone if you're familiar with that, but once you activate the special Shark Space, it transforms into a portable gaming console. Shark Space is your game hub, which will show you all of the games you have and also have some fine-tuning settings for you. You can have the phone purge its memory, lock brightness, block out notifications, so whenever you go into gaming mode, you don't get interrupted. This is where you set up what the buttons and the screen pressure points do, and you can even set macros, repetitive combinations of buttons that you can activate with a single press. Okay, time to go for a walk and cool off. Camera time! The Black Shark 5 Pro has a 108 megapixel main camera, which by default will bind pixels together to make 12 megapixel photos, but you can select the 108 megapixel mode if you want to go ham with it. You're seeing some sample photos from the phone right now, and there's also an ultra-wide camera you can play with if you want to get more things into the frame. There is auto HDR, night mode and even an AI mode that will pick the best settings for you. And oh boy, we went this far and I haven't even talked about the battery yet. Okay, so sometimes I go a bit overboard and melt the battery of the phone gaming for a bit too long, but this didn't bother me much with this phone. You wanna know why? It ships with a 120 watt charger that is a more powerful wall plug than what an average laptop comes with. The Black Shark 5 Pro can charge up from 0 to 100% in 15 minutes. Though there is a slightly safer mode that prevents overheating. If you have that one on, it charges in 24 minutes. And yeah, that's quick, and we're talking 0 to 100 here. If I only have like 5 minutes to charge, I can still get this thing up to 40%. So in the end, what do we have here? The Black Shark 5 Pro starts at $799 for 8 gigs of RAM and 128 of storage, but you can spec it all the way up to 256 storage and 16 gigs of RAM. That starting price is already very decent for a phone that has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and all the extra bells and whistles like pressure sensitive screen and the shoulder triggers and 144Hz refresh. If you want to save some cash, the non-Pro Black Shark 5 has a Snapdragon 870 but still has these cool buttons and the pressure-sensitive 144Hz screen. So gamers, worth considering? Links are below, you can check out the phones and the specs and the prices for yourself. Thanks to Black Shark for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe!